So very good morning all of you. So tell me any doubts, clarifications of last week's sessions before we go ahead for this week. Hope you are reviewing. If not, quickly have a review. Because the revision, as I said number of times, is finally the infallible technique of memory. Hmm? Yes. So if you discuss among yourself, I may not aware of it, right? So once you started asking, then of course it will be addressed for everyone. So the last week we discussed about the Shanghai Cooperative Organization in detail, where the meeting was held. Where is it a virtual meet or physically? Okay, offline meet. Huh? Offline only, not online. Okay. So where? Which country? No, where this meeting was held? Samarkand. Samarkand is in which country? Uzbekistan. Need to be aware, right? This is very important. And what for SCO, or what actually the Shanghai Cooperative Organization is? It's what? What sort of organization it is? It's basically economic and security wing headed by China. Otherwise, you may call China-led economic and security bloc. Not actually the military, because one of the intention in the beginning, as I briefed already, when the Shanghai Five, okay, originated, later Uzbekistan joined, so it became Shanghai 6. At that time, intention, because China is slowly gaining a momentum and Russia already disintegrated, they thought of some sort of a force that can tackle America-led NATO. What is NATO? North Atlantic American. Sure? Okay. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. How many countries in there? 40. When it was established? 1949. Good. Where is the headquarters? Brussels. Brussels in which country? So quickly they recollect those things. So there's a Cold War one. Opposite we have the Russia, but somehow they are not continued after the disintegration of Soviet Union. So to tackle this SCO came, but it's not a military bloc. So attack on any country treated as attack on other country. Together they have to face, no doubt. That clause is there. But the security is main concern. In addition to that, these Central Asian countries, all Istans, right? Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, they are engulfed in either insurgency or some sort of terroristic activities as well. So they thought of having cooperation because terrorist activities will not originate inside the country. Okay, definitely it was aided and abetted by outside countries as well. So they wanted to tackle that. With that, okay, the initiative called RATS, RATS, okay, exclusively meant the anti-terroristic squad, regional anti-terroristic squad. This is of SCOs. They came it up. So Shanghai 5 turned Shanghai 6 in 2001. Then now how many countries? So 8 countries as on now, because after 6, India and Pakistan became members when 2017 itself. Iran officially became a member, but technically it will assume the permanent membership from next year, 2023. So where the summit is going to be held? India. So now that the Samarkand, Uzbekistan, the meeting over, the next meeting is was passed on to India, and India, that's what this word says, takes SCO a rotating presidency here. So every year the president change wherever the meeting is supposed to take place. That country will take care. Even I could just a minute. So maybe the fan effect. Could anything fan effect? Okay. So Iran is going to be officially the permanent member uh, in Shanghai Cooperative Agreement from 2023 onwards. Of course, India is the presidency at that point of time. Then, of course, there are all the few things which we made it up. Headquarters at Beijing, founded 21, actually 96 Shanghai. Okay, initially it is concerned. And any other SCO? Relating to India, one more important decision is there. Yeah, that fact has to be made it very clear. Oldest living citizen, what is this? Why it is? Because it was declared as tourist and cultural capital of what grouping is SCO. Okay, the first time it is. Here one point you have to keep in mind, it is not forever. It's a rotating again. So this is for a specific period. The period 22-23. So this point you have to keep in mind. Okay. So every year from now onwards, they are going to announce on this. Okay. In addition to whatever the India's stand and the CO that was upheld, okay, from the main point of view, you have to take care of what is India's version at Shanghai Cooperative Organization. Okay. For example, it stressed firm security. When you say security, food security, health security, energy security, all these issues are there. When health related, India in recent years focusing more on what sort of medicines? Traditional medicines related. Okay, and WHO recently even upheld India's stance on this, and they are going to start one center in India where in Gujarat itself. So I believe you remember those things, right? So quickly recollect those things as well. Similarly, regarding to address this food security, India proposed, because recently it become very crazy in both Andhra, Telangana states as well regarding food. Instead of rice, we are going for millets, right? తీసుకుంటున్నారు already. So immediately the word comes this millets, and that was stressed. And India is stressing this point for last 2 years more, and United Nations too recognized this, and it declared which year as the year of millets? 2023 as the year of millets as well. Then you can understand the significance, or we say otherwise, the India's contribution towards health security, the food security. Okay, then how it is grouping up all the countries to stand on online. Okay, so this is very much required vis-a-vis your mains approach is concerned. Okay, apart from the prelims factual information. Okay, then another meeting, we have this Eastern Economic Forum, where it was held in Russia, Vladisco. Okay, it's a Russian led. It's not a group, it is a forum, isn't it? Remember this, like Shanghai Cooperation, it's not an organization. That means there is no permanent secretariat, no regular meetings, no fixed members in this. Okay, whoever, because this forum was created by Russia way back in 2015 to develop itself, and especially one of the area of Russia, the east of Russia, they don't develop more. So they called it as the forest. To develop that forest of Russia, they initiated this Eastern Economic Forum. India plays a crucial role, and more than India, China is playing this, South Korea, and other countries who are interested, and they are ready to render helping hand for the development of that region. That we can compare with our northeastern region. How India's northeastern seven sisters, right? What is so much a backward, now we are getting the momentum all the way. Like this, it's for Russia. So for that purpose, the meeting was held. So when India wanted to develop northeastern states, because it's completely, even the connection part is also no, is a tougher job. What is that corridor called connecting India with the rest of, I mean, northeastern state with the rest of India? Siliguri corridor. Okay, small corridor around 20 kilometers plus stretch. You will find this. And what is the popular name of Siliguri corridor? Chicken neck, as it looks like in a way. And during the PV Narasimha period, they thought of more focus, so that for its development, you require the cooperation of neighboring countries of this northeast, like Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, all those things, Singapore, so that these may develop. So, what is the policy that we initiated? Look East policy at that time, way back 1996. Look East. When look East, It's not just having the glass on like this. You have to do in a mission mode for the development of this eastern phase with the help of the neighboring countries of the eastern countries, okay, of northeast. Then later when the Modi came, he has given a new nomenclature. Rather than just look, act, isn't it? That's more appropriate because sometimes the word that matters. Okay, the words are so what you call powerful. Okay, mate mantram antam sometimes. The way you use the word, an appropriate word, that counts a lot in all the way. So they renamed it as actist policy. So lookist become actist. Now my question is, what is India's policy is called vis-a-vis with our cooperation towards this Eastern Economic Forum? We too given some name for that. So whenever you're talking about India-Russia relations, especially mains related, and that's very important. Now that the meeting was held, and remember this meeting was held virtually, not physical meet. It's a virtual meet. Okay, was held. So what is that? Because the Russia-Ukraine war, everything, right? Now that Russia in the limelight and India, we are not outrightly criticizing Russia. Only one thing our Prime Minister said in SCO meet, that when it is a one-to-one meet with Putin, war is not the solution, right? It's not the final. Then opt for alternative resolutions, and which was upheld by the Western media, which is upheld by even America, and recently the France Prime Minister quoted this in his UN address as well. So, like this, India adopting some sort of a neutral stance as well. But at the same time, we are with Russia because Russia is our natural friend. That is, who is our natural enemy? So automatically it will come in a way. So whether you like or don't like it, that words will be there. So the oil related, right? In spite of Western opposition, India is going ahead. So definitely, India is having some policy and ready to help even the east of Russia, this far east they call. Okay, so that policy we call it as Act for East. So this Act East, when you use the word Act for East, this is the far eastern region of Russia. So the difference you have to understand very clearly. Okay. Act for East. Act East is India's policy vis-a-vis for the development of our northeastern states with the help of Asian countries, most often. Whereas when it's Act for East, that is India's helping hand for the development of the far eastern region of Russia. So that differentiation you have to understand. Clear that in this? So this policy was enunciated by Modi way back in 2019 itself. Okay. And whereas Act Lookist become Actist from when? 1996 is Lookist policy. When it was turned into Actist, of course, after Modi arrival. 2014 Modi came. Then from when it is? Next year itself. We initiated in a way. The 14 itself this next year. Then he too visited recently He became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Russian Far East at that time, 2019. So, number of agreements we signed, and one of the crucial thing is the maritime route, because we thought of addressing China as well. Chinese BRA project. What is BRA full form? Belt and Road Initiative, previously called as OBOR. So it has two components, road and rail and sea component. Okay. So to address this connectivity project of China, we have our own connectivity projects. We are doing with help of Japan as well as Russia. So for Russia, so from Vladivostok to Chennai via South China Sea, we made this route. So it became very easy. Now, because of that we initiated, we are able to get the oil very easily, very fastly. Okay, otherwise it has taken a different way. So via South China Sea. Again, why the South China Sea? Crucial. China is claiming sovereign rights over it. Okay, and America is protesting as it is affecting free navigation. So India is, okay, because every possibility that if no protest, China may put the toll gates there. Okay, give me the charge. Then may not allow every ship. Okay, free navigation means anything, even the warships can move. It may not allow the warship, it may not, everything we need to permit. Then we need to pay for that. Everything. The reason why America and Russia are still protesting in a way. If we keep quiet, it will be a different scenario, because just they're putting what is how many dots? Just putting the 9 dots on the map, 9 dotted line, it's called as. They claim it is ours, isn't it? Though directly we are not parties, countries like Philippines, Vietnam, Brunei, they are the affected parties. But still, if we ignore future, this free navigation will get effects rather than worry about the resources, whatever it is. So once it is not yours, you can't claim that it is yours. So need to be protested in a way. So anyhow, so keeping that in mind, so with Russia, now China can't stop the Russian ships. So we have our own strategy in a way. If that be the case, that is again the relations of China-Russia. So China has no option now. Even if it is against India, it can't do. So our strategy was made in tune with this. So that is what Act Far East is to do with extension of India's Act East policy. Okay. Then, any doubts on this? This is Russia's eastern part. If you look at this one, okay, the entire thing is Russia. Far East, when you say this, these are the things will come into fore. Then, next is another trilateral meet happened. This time, India, UAE, France. Recently, with an America and France, we initiated one. What is that? Last week we discussed. India, France, and US. INFRAS, INFRUS. What is the name that India is planning to give? It is still in the conceptual stage. They don't want INFRAS. It looks like AUKUS. It looks like Quad. So it carries a different security angle. Again, it may not tasteful to the China. IB? Yeah, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Indo-Economic Framework is different. Indo-Pacific Trilateral Development. Okay, it's for development. It's still in the conceptual stage, so we have to give. Okay, so Indo-Pacific Economic Forum is different. Why last week we discussed that India tried to walk out from this. One of the pillar, that is a trade pillar, as we are concerned with environmental and labor and other laws, though others we are interested. It's an American law, but still anyhow, process is on thing. So let us wait and see what it will be. Yeah, IPTDC. No, mentioned. That's what Jaishankar thought of renaming it. So we have to wait and see finally what it is going to be. So like this now, India, UAE, France, the trilateral made. So India is focusing either bilateral or trilateral mode rather than a multilateral. So one of the reasons why it's pulling out from a PEF is that if it is a multilateral, it has to compromise a lot on innumerable things, and finally it is getting affected to our Made in India project. Okay, so we don't want that, because every nation formulates its foreign policy in tune with what its national interest, and one of the core component of national interest is domestic development. Whatever you do this, we have to develop, not that others develop. Win-win situation may be there, but you have to develop first, not at the cost of ours, isn't it? So we are focusing more on bilateral, trilateral issues rather than a multilateral. That's a new trend of Modi's foreign policy in his new version. Okay, after second inning is concerned. Then of course is attending now. The meetings are going on. Yes. Then one more thing is, when the Jaishankar, after attending this, he too attended two more things. One is G4, another is BRICS. Quick, what is BRICS? Brazil or Britain? Brazil, very good. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Is a grouping of 5 countries. Good. What is G4? You know G7. G7 is what? Group of developed, industrially developed countries, right? Right, good. Then G20 also we discussed last time. What is that? Combination of developed and developing countries, or emerging economies also. Okay, they were called developed and emerging economies. So what is G4? India, Brazil, China is not there. So G4 are the aspirants, is aspirant group of 4 countries. What they are aspiring? Very good. They are aspiring the permanent membership of the Security Council. Okay. They are struggling for, okay, or demanding for. Is a long-standing demand for the reforms of Security Council. Of course, in general, the UN reforms as well. So, Security Council is what wing of UN? Is an organ, right? How many organs totally for United Nations? 6 organs. So, it's an executive organ. How many countries in the Security Council? 5 plus 10. 10 plus 5. Anything is the same, right? So totally 15 countries, 5 are permanent and 10 are non-permanent. What's the tenure of non-permanent? 2 years, right? So is it India, is it permanent or non-permanent now? Still non-permanent. Okay, right now. It only is not non-permanent forever. Okay, by end of this December, its term is going to be over. Okay, is the 8th time India became the non-permanent member. So now you would want it to be a permanent member. Apart from India, that is they wanted to expand because 5 countries are the permanent members when 1945. At that time only 50 countries are in the UN. Now you have 193 countries. At least that ratio proportion principle you have to adhere and increase this permanent membership. Okay. So India, Japan, Germany and Brazil. They are the 4 major aspirants from the beginning. Recently South Africa too joined with that, but officially it is yet to named it as G5. So G4 only still they are making. So India, Japan, Germany and Brazil. These are called as the G4 countries. So they are struggling for or aspiring for a permanent membership in the United Nations Security Council. So because they only enjoys the veto power. What is veto power? The power of rejection, right? Saying absolute no. Any resolution to be passed, it should be passed by all the member countries. Otherwise, it won't be accepted. Okay. Recently, China exercised its veto power regarding what? In say UN Security Council concerned with India. Yeah, the JEM and LUT leaders, UN, America and India mooted a resolution to declare them as terrorists, but that was obstructed by China by exercising the veto. Then back to nothing is a century later, Nizam's squad set to return to India. Maybe for the Telangana set also important, right? The exams now, the group 1. Last time when the Britain started the Kohinoor diamond, okay, there are, okay, when the Queen's death, now in passing, there's a demand here and there. Why don't you return back to India? Britain kept quiet, but they are ready to return the sword. Okay, so maybe if not this, you take this. Okay, anyhow, something is better than nothing because number of India's symbols, you may say, our culture and heritage symbols, call it, because that is what we proud of our heritage. Those are still in British museums. Either they taken away or somebody has gifted them. Either way it is. And this sword also says it was gifted, and it looks like a snake, isn't it? The completely part is concerned. So let's wait and see what finally is going to be happen. So British government finally decided. So there is a 14th century's ceremonial sword. So that was given to the British general long back in 20th century. Now they are returning the issue. So right now it's in the Museum of Britain. That's what Glasgow's museum. And of course, this statistics may not be required, but still, remember way back 1905, General Sir Archibald, right? Hunter, who is the commander in chief of Mumbai area, he got it from Maharaja Kishan Harshad Bahadur, right? I mean, the way it is, okay? So, whatever be it was passed on from one to another. So, they are returning accordingly. So, different versions are there. Somebody said it was taken forcefully, somebody said no, it was purchased, somebody said it's a gift. So whatever it be, it's in the museum and they are ready to give it back. So then comes one more, okay, crucial aspect in security angle of the country. Israelis Iron Beam. So previously we heard of Iron Dome. Israelis Iron Dome. What it is? Anti-missile, okay, a defense system, otherwise we call it, okay, missile defense system. If some missiles are coming, it can, but somehow it will take its own time, right? Then secondly, cost factor is very high. So to address this issue, the Israeli developed the new version. We have the Iron Beam. It looks like similar to our S-400 or even more powerful than that. That's what they are planning in this way. So it's an integrated anti-air system, they simply called it. So intended for intercepting mortar as well as the artillery shells and unguided short-range rockets. And this beam uses what? The direct energy laser that focuses lengths of kilowatts of what we call tens of kilowatts of energy. So it looks like this in a way. So even at the short range, it can address. At the low end part, it can address, and the cost factor is less. And within no time, it will start activating. It can be activated, whereas others it will take the time. So let us see how it's going to function and help the Israel in its security angle. Okay. Similarly, India too taking security angle issue. Indian Army activated a satellite-based internet service. Where? At the Siachen Glacier. Okay. With the help of this, of course, BSNL, we call BBNL, Bharat Broadband Network Limited. They are able to activate this one because it's very crucial. The highest point, even they call highest point, the world's highest battlefield. Okay, the Siachen Glacier, not just for India, and when 1998, the thing is concerned, Kargil war issue, the Siachen Glacier also come like that, and Pakistan wanted to capture this. They have eye on this, but come what may, we are protecting the way. It's an icy minus, okay, sometimes minus 40, something like this it will be. So difficult to stay, but still we're able to protect the Siachen Glacier. And now that once the internet services, yes, we can communicate easily. Okay. Then, regarding another issue regarding defense, recently the Defense Ministry signs a contract with BrahMos Airspace. So, Defense Ministry signs a contract. Okay. So, you know pretty well the BrahMos. What is the BrahMos? Is a cruise missile developed by, jointly developed, right, by India and Russia. That much we are aware of it. Even one country recently purchased that, Philippines. Then other countries on the line. Then what is this India signs an agreement with BrahMos Aerospace? So this is an organization taking care of this issue. So it signs for how many, right? BrahMos Aerospace Private Limited it is. How many missiles? These missiles, 20, not 22, right? Quantity has not given, right? Only cost they have given. The worth of 1700 crores. Okay. So this BAPL is a joint venture of the India's DRDO. What the full form of DRDO? Defense Research and Development Organization. Where the headquarters? DRDO. Hyderabad only. Hyderabad only, no? Then NPO, Mashnestroy, okay, that's a Russian name perhaps of Russia. So this was found, of course, not now, way back 1998. So always we heard the BrahMos and rarely we talk about this organization. So once now that signed, then I thought of okay, informing you as well. So this is the organization that deals with this. Okay. Okay. So it's an Indo-Russian multinational aerospace and defense corporation. If you call this, what is BrahMos Aerospace? Okay. Indo-Russian multinational aerospace as well as the defense corporation. So the main issue is of course manufacturing concentrations in cruise missiles. And the DRDO holding more share, 30.5%, and Russians 49.5%. Now they are developing the second version, BrahMos 2. It's an hypersonic cruising missile. Okay. Okay. Right? Any doubt? Then another issue regarding science and technology recently happened is OneWeb's 36 satellites arrive at Satish Dhawan Space Center. Where is the Satish Dhawan Space Center? Where it is? Sriharikota only, right? So Sriharikota Shar, once upon a time called Sriharikota High Altitude Range, now named as Satish Dhawan. Yes. So innumerable satellites were launching, even other countries' satellites, nano satellites, and everything. So our commercial wing of ISRO get a momentum. So now OneWeb, they made 36 satellites. They came it up. Arrival shortly we are launching. So it teamed with the New Space India Limited. So that's what we call NSIL. So what is NSIL? It's a commercial arm of ISRO. ISRO full form, Indian Space Research Organization. Where the headquarters? Who is the chairperson? Sure. Just go to Google or tak 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 tak. This is so. This is all your revision should be. Okay? Because you can't by heart the things. So once 10, 15 times, if you recollect, you may or may not get an answer. Then immediately look at. I'm sure that will be. Okay. So Somnath, yeah, you got an answer here online. Good. Swati, Bhagavati, Bandaru, Swati, all good. Okay. So the commercial wing of this we call it New Space India Limited, and that is taking care. It is. So when the launch will be, company's 14th overall and satellites and will be put into orbit by the heaviest ISRO rocket. Heaviest ISRO rocket. This is called GSLV MK3. So with the GSLV MK3, okay, that is right now. Okay, GSLV, PSLV, you have right. What is the full form of GSLV? geosynchronous. ASLV augmented. Okay, right. So MK3 version they're launching on this. Then of course last week itself we made it up. What is this? This and that. Okay, that's how the plane were decorated. So it's coming in a way, isn't it? So special plane that brought the Cheta to India from which country? Namibia. So how many? 8. So 5 female, 3 male cheetahs from Namibia. And where they are right now? Puno National Park, Madhya Pradesh, right? So of course, way back 1952, India declared that it's no more in India, extinct, disappeared from India. Now we are getting back these things. Okay. So Kuno National Park, Madhya Pradesh. Is it east or west or south of Madhya Pradesh? Corner lo untunda. South. Like geography, the map advised here you will find this. Okay, Kuno National Park in the Madhya Pradesh, this area. Okay. Done. Back to another national important news for the good purpose. The Ratan Tata make the news, and now he'll become a trustee of PM Cares Fund. So Adani, Ambani, all commercial wing they are taking. Charitable wing is taken care by okay Tata Group. It looks like. So recently, the government of India has taken a decision, a cabinet, to appoint trustees. Hitherto, the PM case is headed by, that is, Prime Minister is ex officio chairperson. Then another ministers are there. Who are there else? Home Minister, Defense Minister, and the Commerce Minister, Finance Minister. So they are the trustees hitherto. That's it. And there are innumerable allegations on PM case one. Even at one point, somebody touched the doors of Supreme Court as well. Need to be audited. And CAG also become helpless. They said we can't audit the PM case as it was listed under the trust act rather than the issue. Then the issue related is PM's relief fund, national relief fund issues, what it's all about. And world is, or for that matter, Indians are not aware where the funds, how they are going. So keeping that in mind, to give some sort of a credibility to this PM case, the government of India has taken this decision. So they appointed the Ratan Tata. In addition to Ratan Tata, the former Supreme Court judge K.T. Thomas, then the former Deputy Lok Sabha Speaker Kariya Munda. There's 3 is nominated as the trustees of PM fund. In addition to that, you have advisory board also. They created. In this advisory board, Raju Maharishi, Sudha Murthy, and Anand Shah. Sudha Murthy of Infosys, right? So they too become in a way is concerned. So whatever be the donations that PM Cares Fund, as it requires 100% exemptions from income tax, so most of them they are contributing, and almost it looks like a total of 7,031.99 crores they are able to collect just 2021, that COVID scenario. So what you are doing this fund is a bigger question mark, so that need to be addressed. Now, can anybody tell me what is the full form of anything? Is there PM Cares Fund or just like this one? PM is Prime Minister. CARES, just like CARE general word or any other full form? It's there. What is that? Prime Ministers. Right. Because again, that's very important. So it's the Prime Minister's, no doubt you put it, citizen assistance and relief when during emergency situations. You are assisting the citizens of India in emergency situations for relief. A number of competitive exam reason abbreviation they ask. So it looks as general words. PM is taking care of this COVID affected people, tackling the COVID, you may say, but actually it is citizens assistance and relief emergency situation created specifically, if you say this, on 27th March 2020 for this COVID pandemic. So it does not get any budgetary support. So many funds directly they are contributing for that, and exemption, income tax exemptions. Plus, it was part of, okay, when the companies are giving, it is treated as part of this CSR. What is CSR? Corporate social responsibility. How much they have to give for their CSR activity? A company 2% of their profit. Okay, 2% of profit they have to contribute to their CSR activity. Okay, that's what stipulated. So whatever be the amount they got it, it was treated as part of it. So every company is bound to give. That's what Tata once described the CSR as nothing but a tax. You are forcing, okay, others to be a philanthropist. Philanthropy is a voluntarism. How you will make it voluntary as a compulsory? But still, government is going ahead. But the few companies like Tata, they are spending more than 80%, 8%, sorry. Maruti Group and all the things, they are spending 8 to 10%, something more. Okay, not of 2% on, but at least they said the minimum every organization need to spend on this. Now it was come under this as well, and Prime Minister is ex officio chairman hitherto, and the defense and home defense and foreign, what you call finance ministry, they are the hitherto the trustees. Now, and it's not subject to audit by the CAG. What the CAG full form? Comptroller Auditor General openly said it. Okay, now that's a different issue. So, any doubt? Here, two issues you have to keep in mind. PM National Relief Fund is there, and how it differs from the issue. So, long back when, okay, was created, okay, 1948 itself, cause is the same, to assist. At the time is the refugees of partition, and for their families they are to provide the relief. Then in the course of time, especially after 1985, okay, Rajiv Gandhi era, that was entrusted entirely with the Prime Minister. So previously there is a trustees are there. So you have the no doubt the Prime Minister, similarly the Deputy Finance Minister, even the Congress President and Tata's industry representatives used to be the trustees. But once in 85, and entirely the Prime Minister's, it will be the sole discretion it came. Now, how it differs PM case is that, and this is the same or different, or it was renamed. that is that, this is this. That and this has nothing to do. So they created a trust now. Okay, entirely a different. Then another thing to the Modi related, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. What is this? Yeah, the selected speeches of PM Modi. There's a book came with this name, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. All Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, okay, Saath, Vikas, and Vishwas. So all the speeches, okay, selected speeches. And recently it was inaugurated. Then one more, the newsworthy is Ambedkar circuit. So previously you heard of Ramayana circuit, Buddhist circuits. So that clearly shows is a touristic attractions. So now they want to make it Ambedkar as well. So these are the 4 places right now made. Actually, the Modi thought of 5. One more, the London, where he finished his law. But right now, the 4 in India, they started connecting. So is Janmabhoomi the place of birth, Mau, the birthplace, and the place of his demise, then place where he embraced the Buddhism, and the place of his cremation. So those was taken as the 4 areas, and connecting is a rail or road connection, which they are promoting. Road is already and rail mainly. Okay, train. Okay, things they wanted to make it. Okay, so the Union Tourism Minister all the way announced the special tourist train to cover this as part of Swadesh Darshan scheme. So we have Swadesh Darshan scheme existing from 2014-15 onwards and covering all this Ramayana, Buddhist circuits and Northeastern circuit also we have. So here, that's what when it says Ambedkar, his Janmabhoomi and Diksha Bhumi, the Buddhism, and Mahaparinirvan are called place of his demise, and Chaitya Bhumi, his cremation. All these 4 areas, they made it out. And in this scenario, always advisable to remember few points of Ambedkar. We described Ambedkar as the father of Indian Constitution, as he played a very crucial role in formulating the Indian Constitution and the President of Constituent Assembly. Am I right? No, acting president, drafting committee president. Yeah, he was called as the chairman. Good. The chairman of drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, which plays a very crucial role. How many members in the drafting committee? 7 or 8? Sure. Hmm? Check yourself and correct it. Then what other important points on Ambedkar you can say? Is the first law minister of independent India, and is only Indian who attended all the 3 roundtable conferences. Okay. Generally, they're all the competitive examination. They pose this one. And once he embraced the Buddhism, then the Buddhism became popular as well in India. Okay, he popularized and other. Then one more recent news about this internal democracy. They are talking about this internal democracy is within internal where within the political parties. No doubt India is a democracy. Whether the same democracy is existing in political parties or not is a bigger question mark, because Indian political parties is based on charisma of the persons. Then similarly we are addicted to hereditary concept, a family parties more often, either national or regional. Congress also completely associated with finally the Gandhi family. Okay, though the Nehru, the thing is concerned of Nehru Gandhi family otherwise, as if nobody is there, such a national party. Same case with all the parties, either based on the charisma of a particular leader or in the course of time, we become that's what addicted to, habituated to very much. If some leader died, immediately you choosing only their kith and kin rather than nobody is there. So recently in Britain, you saw it entirely different process, how the prime minister get elected by the party. Okay, entire process is different. He was not nominated by anybody, or no sealed cover business here, isn't it? So from the ground level, from different places, okay, the cadre finally chosen, and unfortunately we don't have the system. At least now election commission raised the occasion and talked about this by annulling the process adopted by the ruling party of Andhra Pradesh. What is this? What is the full form? YSR. So generally we feel that why Rajshekar Reddy all the thing is concerned, right? Is all the way it is. But actually even when he says this, YSRCP, Yuvajana Shramika Raitu Congress Party. This is the official name of YSRCP. Okay, not of Rajshekar Reddy name here. Okay, so when Jagan was elected as the permanent president, when he is a permanent president of the party, means forever. Okay, unseating his own mother, right? When the thing is concerned. And you find this trend recently at the international level too. The China has happened. Okay, Chinese President Xi declared himself right as the permanent president of the Communist Party. So the president of China. Same thing, a trend followed by Vladimir Putin, okay, of Russia. They want to be forever. No more elections again. So one different is they are the dictators. Another thing is concerned. But India is not. So how is that you will do that? Even now Congress party, though we said is a family party too, but now they announce for this elections every year, right? They will at least announce. Whoever dare enough they can contest. But unfortunately everybody finally assigning to Gandhi family only. And this year, so thanks to Rahul Gandhi, he opted out. Somehow Priyanka is not interested so far. We don't know. Within few days anything may happen. Okay. And Sonia, okay, so not able to effectively function. So finally somebody else should be there at least as the president of the party. So definitely a non-Gandhi family man. Scope is there. Okay. So like this, every party need to have its own internal. So that was stressed by election commission recently. So election commission rejected the idea of permanent president. So this is an important, a constitutional aspect. And election commission indeed raised the occasion to uphold the democratic spirit. Okay, and it used its power. So now no party can dare to do like this. Okay. So when first time happen, immediately we need to cut so that others will not follow. Okay. Here the EC periodical is the guidelines they said under section 29A of this Representation of People's Act 1951. So the Election Commission have this power, whatever it will do it under this RPA, Representation of People's Act 1951. So under this, because it has the power to recognize the political party. Okay, recently it de-recognizes number of political parties also. It looks like you are registering political party and the guise of political party you are availing innumerable benefits, and in this process one of the thing is hawala trade, black marketing, and all the things also happening. Okay, misusing this recognition of the political party by few entities. So we want to address that aspect as well. So we don't want to stand on this. But anyhow, here this wording is very important. But the commission does not have any statutory power to enforce internal democracy. Only thing is, as per this law, election has to be conducted for every minimum of 5 years. So every 5 years, the party has to renew itself. Then they said is yes, we are holding the election. That is the must. As this was not adhered to, then election commission utilized this clause to teach a lesson to YSRCP. Then again, hijab issue is going on. Now the judgment was reserved. One more case came up. Okay. And this, we have to say kudos to the Muslim women. They said they filed a case against nikah halala. So because the woman raised the occasion, the Muslim woman, and finally filed a case, and that resulted, there is one inhuman practice, that is of triple talaq, finally banned, and it is criminalized. Right? Triple talaq is talaq, talaq, talaq. Once you 3 times you uttered, that were treated as divorce in the Muslim community. Isn't it? Whether you have said it deliberately, intentionally, or emotionally. So most of the emotions, no, when something happened, talak, talak, later regret, ayo. There's no ayo here. You can't say tuj. You can't undo it also, unfortunately. There's a very draconian, inhuman practice. So if at all again, after talak uttered, if both of them wanted to live together, a process has to be adhered to. The Sharia law stated what? Again, this girl has to marry somebody. Then again, that somebody has to give talak, talak, talak. Then is what is this? Isn't it? So now that process we called as nikah halala. Now they filed the case against. Now the triple talak banned this also. Isn't it? Why this? Okay. Because once the marriage, okay, even the practice, if we go in depth, is concerned. Okay. Just for sake of a day, is it necessary? Isn't it? So why this practice? Now this was filed in the form of a bill, What is PIL? Public interest litigation means what? Other than affected party can file a other than affected party. Any third party otherwise we call. If it is of social concern, if it's for the public interest, they may do so. So it came in the bill requesting this section 2 of this Muslim personal law, Sharia, called this, okay, to annul. And one of the things they said is violates Article 14, 15, 21 and 25 as well of the Constitution. Quickly, can you tell me what is 14, 15? 14 is right to equality. 15, it is also right to equality. Equal opportunities. 21, right to life. 25, okay. Who can tell me all this for? To the 100% accuracy. Hmm. 14. What? So overall right to equality is 14 to 18, right? Then what is 14 specifically talking about? Yeah, all are equal. All persons, even they use the word. Okay, equal before law and equal protection is granted to all without any discrimination. Okay, equal before law, equal protection is granted to all without discrimination. Is it you are not discriminating this? It's only man, not for women again. That comes 15. No discrimination on the basis of race, religion, caste, sex, creed, etc. Right? You are discriminating. So 14, 15 go together in a way. Extension. 15 is an extension of 14. A detailed version specifically to access to public places, like of course education institution, parks and everything we're talking about. So no discrimination on religion, and here you are discriminating on the part. Not only on religion, they said no discrimination on the basis of race, religion, caste, sex also. Here male have one rule, female has. ये क्या है? Isn't it? You are discriminating here. So now they started questioning. When Shabano case long back arise, first time the Muslim men touched the doors of the court challenging this divorce laws. From that onwards, still because of the whatever the patriarchy or whatever the thing is concerned, the male dominated society, still it is going on, and finally, okay, recently, right? The triple talaq one banned and criminalized, then everything is taking place. They are raising to the question. So 14, 15, that you have to keep in mind very much. And mains point of view, this sort of clarity is required for you. Okay, don't just generally say this. Okay, this is this, this is this. So 14 is equality before law and equal protection. These are two words is very important. All are equal before law and equal protection is granted to all. Of course, without any discrimination. 15 is no discrimination on specific grounds mentioned. Grounds was mentioned here. Okay? The ground of religion, the ground of sex, here clearly mentioned vis-a-vis with this is concerned. Okay? This is not existing in other religion. This is not existing. Plus within the Muslim country, sex discrimination. The male has one rule, this have another. And 21, in what way it has a connection? Right to life. Who said? They are not taking the life of you, they are not killing you, no? Huh? No, when you say right to life 21, they are not asking you to end your life. Okay? People the law got the thing. Only thing is they are stipulating that you remarry, again take the divorce and back. A process they are stipulating. So how it is affecting right to life? If you say so. Can anybody tell me what is Article 21? One single line only, right? And you have to by heart number of times, even I told you also in the class, and I think sir always repeatedly expressed this. And you have to virtually by heart that single sentence of Article 21. What is Article 21? What is the wording as it is mentioned in the Constitution? No person shall be deprived of his life or ఇంకో వర్డ్ లేదా personal except according to the procedure established by law. అయిపోయింది 21 is just a small rule, but that is playing a very crucial role. So personal liberty is nothing but a choice, right? How is that you will compel, you will force others adhere to this process? As simple as it is. So there the link. Okay, life is one thing, the personal liberty. So this sort of intricacies are there, and if you address the intricacies, I am sure that the prelims or mains you can get more marks. Okay, if you just leak this LKG UKG approach of reading, I am sorry, but don't do this one. Okay, and now that prelims are very nearby, how many of you are writing Telangana Group 1? Has to be very careful at this. Okay, this sort of intricacies, and see that polity section where you will get 100% marks, 10%, 15%, 20, whatever it be there. Okay, so don't leave any stone unturned or this is. Okay, got it? Then one more hijab at the international level is also in the news. Which country? Iran, right? The police. So kudos to their the struggles. Then again, quick few facts. The Tamil Nadu will get is India's first. So whenever you use the word first, you have to keep in mind Dugong Conservation Reserve was notified. So this is looks like this dugong. So they wanted to conserve the endangered species as it would help to protect this one. Okay. Now the cheetah. So this also being this as it's the first for India's to protect this endangered. Okay. Dugong advisable. Then of course his name also will be previously discussed. Pranav Anand, India's 76th chess grandmaster now. Then of course the International Year of Millets. Okay, I tell you already this one. Then one more Telangana news. We are getting the Forest University recently in the assembly made. Okay, they introduced this bills and it was done. So world's third it is, and India's first. So nowhere in India you have this University of Forestry. So naturally very important. Then other countries are China and Russia. So now it's been the third. So no doubt that's very crucial. Right. So that's all for today. Any doubts, clarifications? Right. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.